I'm going to show you how to turn wonton wrappers into toasted ravioli and boiled ravioli, and then this is Joe's ravioli. See you in a bit. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. I'm Sheila and my husband Joe is behind the camera. Today we're making ravioli. So to start our normal intro, I eat whole food plant-based for to cure my migraines, which is working, and Joe eats the standard American diet. And so we show you how it really isn't that hard to do it in the same household when you eat two different ways. So that is what the genesis of our channel is. And a lot of times how we come up with our recipes is Joe or I will say, I'm craving, and then we decide, can we make a video out of that? So this week it was all about Joe. He's like, I'm craving ravioli. And he had a great thought. Could I make ravioli that I could eat out of wonton wrappers? And I said, I don't know. This seems very like this could be a good plan. We've used them before. We've shown you guys how we do the like Southwest egg rolls. And I started Googling it and I'm like, this is legitly a thing, because I wasn't sure when you made them, like how long would you cook them? And then today, before we made the video, we came up with another way to cook them. So we're going to show you, we're going to do mine now, and then Joe will talk about his in a little bit. So let's start with the filling. I want to make something gooey and cheesy and delicious. So I have this package of tofu in my fridge. So this is a pack from Aldi, or not Aldi, Trader Joe's, and you get 2 of them, which is perfect for me because I'm the only one in the household that eats tofu, because I can eat a whole block over the course of a week, but this is actually better. So I want to make like a tofu, spinach, ricotta using my food processor. So I'm going to put this package of the extra firm tofu. I've already drained most of the water off into the, and I'm just going to kind of crumble it as I put it in. If there's a little bit of liquid, that is not a problem, but most of it has been drained off. So I'm going to put that in. This is a 15-ounce container of tofu. Okay, now I want to put a couple, I've got some power greens here that I use for my smoothies and for my salads. So I'm going to put a couple handfuls in there. And now we need to get our seasonings in there. So to make it like ricotta type, you need to add a little bit of acid. So we're going to use a half of 1 lemon. So I've already got the lemon cut. I think I've shown this tip before, but for any new viewers or anyone, if you have a juicer like this, most people put it in this way. They think that's the way, but actually you put it in opposite, so that when you squeeze all this out, you actually turn it inside out to get the absolute most juice that you can. So I'm going to put a half of a lemon. Now, if it wasn't very juicy, then I could use the whole lemon, but ooh, just shot that across the way. I guess I'll be cleaning that little countertop. So I got that done. And now we've got 2 cloves of garlic. I just cut them in half just to give them extra pulsing. And I've got to add some seasonings to it. So I want to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast to give it that cheesy-ish flavor. Yes, I know it's not actually cheesy, but it is for us. It's as close as you're going to get. And I've got some homemade pizza seasoning, which is basically essentially Italian seasoning. And I want to add a teaspoon of that because there'll be more seasoning on the sauce. So, and you've seen our seasoning video. Maybe if Joe could link it where we do our seasonings. And now I just need to pulse this a few times. Now our machine is kind of loud. I've told you guys that before. So Joe might have to speed through or put some music on during editing because this can be loud. So I'm just going to pulse it because I don't want it to turn into total mush, but I want to try to get this going. So I'm just going to pulse. Yep, that's what I got to do is push it down, just like Joe said. And let me use this. This I was using for the sauce, so that's more. So push it down. So it's actually coming together like I want. It's just that the spinach is so big. I'm gonna put it on low for a little bit. That was about 7 seconds. Ooh, that looks good. I'm gonna push it down one more time. I've still got a few whole spinach leaves in there. I probably should have, just to be more efficient, broken some of that spinach up, like hand broke it up before I put it in there, but I didn't do that, so do better than me. That looks excellent. Push this off to the side, and let me take this out and show you guys. So that kind of looks like a spinach ricotta, and it smells like that too. So let me clean this up for half a second here. Take these two things over here. Okay, so now let's get our filling going. I've got some water here because I'm going to need water to crimp it. So you could do it two different ways. Joe and I were discussing it, and we think it's going to be better if we put the filling in the middle and then put this one on top of it and then crimp it to make it more like ravioli, because he was looking at his. So, ooh, 1 tablespoon might be too much. Let's try a teaspoon of the filling. So this is a teaspoon of the filling. I think that might be better. So I'm going to use my finger to wet this because we want that contact so that they will stick together. So I'm going to put this one on top of it, squish it down, and then I'm going to use my fork to crimp it. And then while we were sitting there discussing the video today at lunch, we had a thought, what if, you know how they have like fried ravioli? What if we air fried some of these to toast them up? So that's what we're going to do with some of them.
I would say do a little bit more filling next one.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, so let's get this one up. So we'll put this one on for air fry. So I have a little parchment paper there on my air fryer because I was worried that without using oil, it might stick to that grate. So I decided to use a parchment paper. And Joe got those off Amazon, so they're cut perfectly to the grate.
You say you're going to season those too? Like on top? Put a little. I'm
thinking I might put a little water and then a little seasoning on them. Yes, I agree with you. I think that would be good. Okay, so I'm going to do like a teaspoon and a half, you think?
That might be good.
Okay, so there's 1 teaspoon. Let's do a half. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. That's more like, okay.
That'll be good.
All right, so let's get our fingers going here. I might need to also do it on both sides, both of them. I think that's going to get a better seal. Yeah, that one's not sticking as well. So that one definitely needs to go in the air fryer because I don't want that to go in the boiling water. And shockingly, when I looked up recipes, they only take 3 minutes in the boiling water. So I was very surprised by that because that was what I got his idea. And I was like, oh, that's a fantastic idea. But how long would they cook in the water? So, you know, the filling's already cooked. So 3 minutes is according to Pioneer Woman. I looked up hers and I looked up some others and they all seem to jive with that same information. So this one looks good. That one looks better, huh? So this is why you just get to it. Don't worry about if it's going to be a fail. You can always have peanut butter and jelly for dinner. But this is fun. This is like date night here. Okay. Not like date night. It is date night. It's a Saturday night and we're trying something different and we're doing it with all our new YouTube friends. Okay. It's definitely not crimping like I thought. It's a little different than like dough for peanut butter cookies when you do it. Okay, so you guys get the gist of it. So I'm going to put these off to the side for the boiling water. And obviously you don't need to see me make tons of these. So we're going to continue to make them, but Joe will probably fast forward. I do think doing a couple at a time I might up it to 3 at a time, or maybe 4 at a time. And then we'll come back when we're getting ready to cook them and show you what that looks like. So we've decided it's 1.5 teaspoons of the filling. Seems to be the right amount.
Water's boiling.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. It's always good when the water is boiling. And you wouldn't have to do it, a plant-based option. You could take this same option and put ground beef in it, ground pork, just cheese, spinach and cheese, whatever you're wanting. You can make your filling whatever. I'm just showing it what I would put in it. So yeah, be creative with it. Man, you could go Mexican on it and do like beans and then do like an enchilada sauce instead of a marinara sauce. So many options. Whoop. I think this one. I think I just have to push down harder on the fork is I think what I've got to do. These are going to be so good. You could use an egg wash on them, but I don't use the eggs, so I'm not going to do that. If you had aquafaba, it would be a great idea of how to use some of your aquafaba. I just don't have any right now, so I'm not going to use that, but that's another idea. Aquafaba is a great sub for oil in a lot of these recipes. Okay, that one I kind of tore a little bit up at the base, so I'm going to put that one in the air fryer. So I don't want the filling to leak out. I think that's the key is you've got to get that contact and then start with your crimping and just use both hands to crimp. This would be fun with kids or with girlfriends or with a couples thing and everybody makes a different filling and then you get to try different ones. That would be super fun. I'm probably going to have more filling than I would make in this batch, which means I'll make another batch another night. Oop.
That's going to be enough filling for 20 here.
Well, I could also make a lasagna out of it too. I could do something else with it. I think for time's sake, maybe do 2 more. Okay. So we'll do 2 more. We'll do 4 in the air fryer, and that'll leave 4 or 5 for boiling water, right? You think that will be good?
Do some more off camera to do your.
We're getting hungry too, so we need to at least get one batch done so we can eat. We have these grand ideas when we do these, like, oh, we'll be eating in just a little bit. Well, by the time you set everything up, next thing you know, it's been an hour, and like you're like now starving. I'm really looking forward to this. I love when Joe comes up with these ideas. Because sometimes you just gotta, or somebody at work might say something like they're gonna go eat something, and I'm like, ooh, how can I make that plant-based? Or, hey, I wonder if Joe's interested in that, and how can we make a video out of that? So we'll take any and all ideas that you might have in the comment section of something you might want to see. A couple weeks ago, we did a video, and we asked, like, would you like to see us make our salsa? we made a video on that. Well, guess what? We had already done a salsa video. So we got all confused because we didn't realize we had already done a salsa video. So, but we needed salsa anyway, so that didn't matter. Okay. Plus, I'm not sure how these would be warmed up. So I'm glad that we're going to eat them fresh, but I'll have to save a couple and see how they taste warmed up. Okay, so we're going to do 4 in the air fryer and 5 in the water. Okay, so let's put a little bit of water on these so that the seasoning can stick to them. Now you could spray with a little bit of olive oil if you wanted. Like I said, you could use aquafaba, but I'm just going to use plain old H2O. And then a little bit of pizza seasoning. Oh, it's going to be so good. Okay, so if you want to put those in the air fryer, do you want to show us putting the noodles, them in the hot water? Okay, so let's put this away. One thing about wonton wrappers, when you are using them, make sure you don't leave them out. Like these, I will need to put in plastic wrap and make sure I get them back in the fridge. Otherwise, they will dry out a little bit, and you don't want that. So I have lots of filling left over for another batch of these, or for lasagna, or for spaghetti noodles, whatever the case may be. But for now, let's get, oh, I just tore that one. You want to get the lid open and then move the camera? So you might think this pot is a little bit of an overkill, but he was working on a project earlier today. And so we already had water in there, so we thought, why dirty another dish? So we're going to drop these in. It's on a slow boil. And so we're just going to drop these in. Ooh. There we go. One more. And we'll start the clock for 3 minutes. And let's go ahead and get my sauce heated up and Joe's ravioli heated up. So we will be back when we take these out and when they're done out of the air fryer. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay. Welcome back. So it's been 3 minutes and they're floating. So that's perfect. That's just like when you make noodles, homemade, like stuff like this. Then when they float to the top, you know that they're done. So I'm going to put them in my bowl. Oh, this looks so good. This is such a novel idea, and I'm so glad that Joe came up with it, and I was able to do a little research because I'm not sure I would have thought about this. So, these two are together. Oh, that one, it leaked out a little bit, my filling. Oh. But that was one of them I nicked when I was bringing it over. So that's okay. It's still going to be delicious. Okay, so we got that ready. Woo! Sauces are getting ready. At least mine is. Joe, do you want to talk about your raviolis or?
Mine's just good old Chef Boyardee, but I spice it up with some seasonings and put a little extra real pasta sauce in there instead of just that bland stuff that they put it in.
That's what he wanted. That was not a Sheila choice. That was what Joe wanted. So let me move this out of the way.
Well, some of the beef raviolis, if you buy the frozens, they also have like feta cheese and other stuff in there that I don't really care for, where the Chef Boyardee is just beef and cheese, and
yeah, so here's his.
that's about it. So we just spice it up with some Italian seasoning and put
mine.
some good spaghetti sauce in there like Sheila has.
And let me show you, I don't know if I cleaned that out yet or not, but this is the marinara that I have found, and it's actually at Aldi, and there's no oil in it. So it's got very clean ingredients, and so we use this a lot, and it's cheaper than most of the other stores also. So it's perfect. So let's try these, and then by then the toasted ones should be ready. So let's do that. So I'm going to add a little bit of sauce to mine. I don't want to add too much because I want you guys to see everything on camera. So I'm going to turn that down to low. Joe, let's get yours on a bowl.
You can just dump it all in there.
Okay. And we'll have probably salad to go with it on the side. Okay, let's try this. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, here's yours. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this, how perfect this is. Oh. This is phenomenal. Do you want to at least try the noodle part? That is shockingly very similar.
It's like a pasta.
To it. Yeah, it's really good. The filling is nice and cheesy and creamy. So, yeah, that is really... You could do so much with that pack of wonton wrappers. Mm-hmm. Any veggies that you need to finish up, put them in the food processor, add a little creaminess to them, whether it's standard American diet and you put some cheese on there, or for us, put a little ricotta. I mean, a little tofu ricotta. Boy, I knew this was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be this good. Mmm. 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 This is very good. Oh, excuse me. Let's check the toasted raviolis. Ooh. Look at those. We probably did them a little too long. That was about 7 minutes. So then maybe we should have done that just a little bit less. But look at the crisp that got on there just with the water. I mean, that is perfect. So do you want to try the outer edge and see what you think? Okay, these are super hot. Whew. Let's see if I can. And the filling is warm. I mean, it's hot in there. So the 3 minutes was more than enough time. Let me see if I can open one. Hot, 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 hot. Look at that. That looks so darn good.
See the steam coming.
Creamy with the tofu and the, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's do it like toasted ravioli where they bring it out with the sauce. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mmm. That's a great appetizer. Honey, you killed it this week. Great idea. This is phenomenal. I know it's a little bit probably longer of a video because it took me a little bit. This is great. Give it a try and tell me what filling you would put in there so I have more ideas with this. This is fantastic. Thank you all so much for joining us. And if you like what you see, if you could like or subscribe, then you'll know when we put a video out, which is every Wednesday night. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.